A man's got to go his own way. A friend taught me that.
You want to know who the best is? That's him, Iceman. It's the way he flies, ice cold, no mistakes.
Isn't that a daisy?
You put a live round in that gun.
Oh, yeah, there was like an 8% chance. Wasn't it?
8? 8?
Yeah. Who taught you math?
You are still dangerous. You can be my wingman anytime.
The plaque for the alternates is down in the ladies' room.
Dad, what an ugly thing to say.
Wait. I have a riddle for you.
I see without seeing. To me, darkness is as clear as daylight. What am I?
Please! You're as blind as a bat!
Exactly.
Wretched slugs. Don't any of you have the guts to fight for blood? I'm your Huckleberry.
This is The Morning Rush.
I got the troubling news that Val Kilmer passed away yesterday. And Tommy, now I felt bad because I thought it was an April Fool's joke the first time I saw it, with it coming yesterday and the news coming out and everything. But there was a few other things I got fooled by yesterday. Or that great open that Colton put together this morning. A lot of good movies that he's been associated with over the years. But not April Fools, unfortunately. The great actors no longer with us.
And I didn't follow, in detail Val Kilmer's career, but the two things that that stick out to me are the two Top Gun movies. I mean, those are probably the ones that where he played the most prominent roles that I remember. But as you played some of those other clips there, made you remember when they shot the second Top Gun, Maverick. You could tell he had some physical issues, but I read where pneumonia was what was the cause of death. So
it was
65 years old.
I remember watching that movie and thinking at times Paul Walker AI'd it. Because if you remember in one of the Fast and Furious movies, Paul Walker died during production. So the closing scene was a combination of AI and just CGI and all that stuff that they can do nowadays. And he was kind of, unfortunately, at the end of his life, at the end of the Top Gun Maverick, or close to it. I just thought in my head.
You say that, but how long ago did they film that?
So what, two or 3 years ago?
So they probably filmed it 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But the ailments and everything else he was doing with Dan and Mount Ida texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying, rest in peace, Iceman. He said Real Genius is his favorite. The three movies that come to mind, you mentioned Top Gun Maverick. I've seen the Batman that he's in, and then also Tombstone. Tombstone has been our open over the years here on the Morning Rush. It's one of the best, just that theme songs and everything else. I'm going to be honest, and I've seen, I think, a little bit of that Saint, or whatever that Saint movie's called. I was looking up and down the list. There's not a lot of other Val Kilmer movies that I've seen outside of those main three.
Well, that's where we start. It's 9:03. It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday. It's going to be a, fill up the rain bucket Wednesday, too, for a lot of us across Arkansas. It's brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Might be a good night to stay in and have a good old-fashioned shrimp boil, or maybe plan one for this weekend when it maybe starts to dry out. Richard's has everything you need. The big tender shrimp that are 16 to 20 count, or the 31 to 35 count to get a few more in there, plus all the hearty potatoes, the flavorful sausage, the sweet corn, everything you need to have to make your shrimp boil even better. And they got the spices. You want a little bit on the milder side for a bigger crowd, or you want to spice it up a little bit, they've got the right mix and the right seasonings to make it the bold Cajun flavor you're looking for. Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Call them. They'll have it packaged and ready. 479-443-0000.
B in Clarksville said he was a good character. It's Jim Morrison in Doors. Matt in Huntsville said his son was the voice in the last scene when Crew spoke to him that one final time. So evidently Val's son has a similar voice to him. If you've got your favorite Val Kilmer movie, you can text those. And Heat apparently should be a required viewing, Tommy, according to Hog Wild in Van Buren. Have you seen the movie Heat?
I don't. If I have, I don't remember.
Okay. So again, some of these I'm just.
I remember him as the voice of Moses and God from the animated movie Prince of Egypt. So that's one of my.
He's diving a lot deeper than I can dive on Val Kilmer.
I have seen that movie.
Yeah.
I have seen that movie with that. All right, so it is again. What's your beef here at 9:05? What is your beef as we get going?
Going back to to what I said on Monday.
You Ian Eagle still? You're still sold on that?
He is okay, but Kevin Harlan is so much better. So that's where I'm going to start. Second one, I've kind of wore that one down a little bit this week, but still think the Final Four this weekend would be so much better if
Even
Kevin
with
Harlan.
all chalk on the Riverwalk.
That was such a Jim Nance moment. Gagged me with a spoon. Anyway, they are putting, I guess, fiber, doing some kind of trench work, utility work. Heard Chuck and Bosa, they were running a jackhammer outside the studio in Fayetteville this morning. They're doing not jackhammer work, but they're doing work and have been for like 2 weeks in my neighborhood. And they got the temporary stoplights, where they back traffic up and will hold traffic for a while and then let it go. But they're starting at 7 a.m. I live 3/4 of a mile from the largest school in my city. And you talk about a mess trying to leave your house at 1:15 to get to work, to get your kids to school on time. And they've just made a mess of traffic for like last week is good. They got these robotic arms on it that they don't have flaggers there now. They've got like a remote control and one guy's running it. But man, start at 8:00 when people are already at school and at work. But they have made a mess of it around my house and made it a little harder to get around.
I remember
when people are already stressed out enough.
Do you remember? Let's go back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When Arkansas was in Jacksonville, Florida. You made the trip. I made the trip. I'm in college. You're still doing the show.
I didn't go to Jacksonville, but anyway.
Why did I think you were in?
I don't know.
Was there? Okay. So, all right. Take that what I said out of the story. What I remember them doing is they did all the highway and work construction after 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And they had lights out there and everything else. And I'm not going to tell whoever's in charge of the Arkansas highways or roads construction or anything how to do a job. I just thought that was unique and interesting because they're doing their work at a time when no one's on the road. And you mentioned 7 a.m. is pretty busy for any part of
but on
Arkansas.
the same road that your high school's on, your 9th through 12th grade school facility, that's not the time to be backing traffic.
And I was talking to Colton about this. There is a house that's for sale right next to yours, and we were thinking about buying it so we could all be one happy family together.
That'd be fun.
What would that do to my property value?
Oh, it'd plummet.
Decrease it.
Are they ever going to open the road in front of our studio here again, or is that just no longer? Ugh.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's open, which is good in some way. We don't have the traffic
one way.
Okay. Well, I have a beef, and my beef's actually with you. You scared the crap out of me yesterday when you were talking about my lawnmower, my weed eater, my blower, which, by the way, all worked within 30 seconds of another. So I'm terrified
who did
driving
you get to
home.
Start them for you?
Me. I'm
must be
terrified.
electric
I'm
start.
driving home like freaking out because
You
I
didn't put Stay-Bill in the fuel tank?
I didn't even know what that was until you said it yesterday.
Stay-Bill. S-T-A-B-I-L.
I didn't know what pre-emergence was until my uncle told me 2 months ago. He told me to buy some. I didn't. There's weeds all in my yard.
There you go.
And I don't care. The reason
Have you aerated yet?
No.
Oh.
The reason I mow my yard is so I don't get a letter from the city telling me that I'm going to get fined if I don't mow my yard. That's the only reason.
Well, how
I
do
don't
you think it needs to be to get one of them letters?
In the old house I lived in, my roommate would take forever to mow his yard, and he'd get one probably once every month or so. So I don't want to get one of those. I don't want to get fined. The only reason I mow my yard, in addition to that,
You're such a good citizen.
I bought the lawnmower, but I felt bad because I was like, okay, I'm just going to mow my yard. And then my uncle's like, you know what? You just got a house. I'm going to give you a housewarming present. And he bought me a weed eater. And then my parents bought me, I was like, okay, I'm not going to blow anything. Then my parents bought me a blower for Christmas.
You got to have that, yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, now I have to do the whole thing. So I mow, I weed eat, and then I blow. But again, I'm freaking out yesterday thinking all my machines are going to go kaput and I'm going to spend $1,000+ on two Christmas / a housewarming gift, and the mower I bought for $100. It's worth about $400. Luckily,
normally they'll start right up, but
they did.
It's usually a few months later that the carburetor gums up and goes completely.
See, that's
out,
just not even funny. The fact that I listened to you on April Fools is not funny. I did,
but seriously, you do need to put some winterization in your fuel. Same thing you do in a boat or anything else that holds fuel over the winter.
I guess is that an actual thing? Like we got
yes.
Okay. Even for like a small engine like that, does it still?
Does it have a carburetor? Does it have filter? Does it have all those?
I don't know. That's
2-cycle engines.
That is too technology. Yeah. Justin and Alma texted in here on the the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying I need a pair of New Balance and some cargo shorts.
And some knee-high socks. He'll be ready to go out.
And some knee-high socks. So I wear old ratty basketball shorts, an old ratty shirt, and then I have these shoes that are so decrepit, so disgusting looking that if I ever do find a woman, she's going to throw them away immediately. But they're my yard shoes.
You'll have them for a while.
And I keep them in our little sunroom type area, and it doesn't smell up the house or anything.
Yard
but
shoes.
again, first lawn mowing yesterday was a success, but my beef was that I was petrified yesterday that I was going to have to spend $1,000 on all new equipment.
Got lucky this time.
Yes, I did. All right, got a chance to watch some Arkansas baseball yesterday, listening to Phil synced up with the television broadcast, and watched the McDonald's All-American game last night. And that's where we begin our opening drive.
That's a beautiful find from Darius Acuff to find Hartwell. Knocks out his second three of the third quarter.
Watch Darius Acuff line this jump shot up from Taz Tech to IMG. A Detroit bucket maker. Knows how to create space with the jab step, the crossover dribble. He's got great body balance, and he plays with force. Here's Malik Thomas, the Pittsburgh native. Top 10 player in the class, going to Arkansas. Thomas hits. That's a triple.
This is the opening drive.
All right, so those were highlights of Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, part of the McDonald's All-American game that was on last night, ESPN, at 8 o'clock. Nate Amon is the guy that you're gunning for right now, along with Duke, Louisville, and I think there's two other schools that are in the running for it. Sounds like Duke and Arkansas are neck and neck for the races, depending on how things shake out with NIL, transfer portal, and everything else. But Darius finished last night, 4 assists, 12 points on 3 of 6 shooting, had a couple free throws to go along with that as well. And then Malik Thomas last night had 6 points on 2 of 5 field goals. There's a lot of guys that get in and out of these games. There's not a lot of continuity because these guys aren't used to playing with one another. But, I mean, I liked what I saw last night, the glimpses. Did you get a chance to watch any last night?
I watched about half of the game. I was watching the baseball game. Did anyone else? Because I was watching, I was at a place where we had 3 TVs. They're all on YouTube TV. We had McDonald's All-Star game on one, and ESPN, and we had the baseball game, and it was glitching and having all sorts of issues, but nothing else was. Same internet connection. Anybody else? I didn't get. I'm sure social media of it was blowing up.
That was most of the discourse.
Oh
was that
my Lord!
It was difficult to even watch the game.
Here's where I come down on that. We would complain, and I would be on the front lines on this radio show complaining if it wasn't on television. Not that we don't enjoy listening here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, or Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. But the issue is it's like twofold. It's like if you don't have it on, people yell, moan. We always get ticked about Flow Sports with Arlington every year. But then when you go to Little Rock for anything, football, basketball, baseball, things aren't going to work. It's just reality of our capital city, which makes no sense. But that's just how it is. And behind the scenes, and Bo was talking about this earlier, and I knew this from working some SEC network in college. You got fiber at the U of A. You don't have that in Little Rock, so you're always going to have those issues. That being said,
how do you not have fiber? You're in downtown Little Rock.
I mean, didn't they not want to invest?
I guess you're across
didn't they
the river.
not want? Yeah, it's North Little Rock. They get mad if you say Little Rock. Didn't they not want to invest in War Memorial and various other things? I mean, I enjoy going to.
I have fiber at my house. I didn't have to invest. They brought it to me.
I think I have AT&T fiber. I don't know, but either way, that's where I feel about the. I get where you're coming from.
It's the Grambling game. I mean, it wasn't like it was ruining my day, but it was a little frustrating trying to watch that.
Scott, the tortilla guy, texting in saying the baseball broadcast was awful.
I just want to make sure I wasn't alone.
No, Jordan and Green Force.
I should have gotten on Twitter. They'd have been, there'd have been a bunch of connectivity experts on there telling us exactly what the issue was.
Jordan says, Tommy, it was terrible. I would pay for Flow Sports any day of the week over what yesterday's was, and we all know what Flow Sports is like. I will say Flow Sports has gotten better over the years just with their broadcast as a whole. I think a lot of people are still like, I don't know if I want to pay $30 for a weekend to watch Arkansas baseball, even though you get to pay some premier opponents and it's a major league ballpark. But I mean, I think last night is unique for a couple reasons. Matt Jones wrote a really good piece in Whole Hog Sports, so Phil's obviously lived in Little Rock for a long time. He's been in that ballpark, and Ray Winder, so it's unique for him. You got guys like Will McIntyre who played around there, and they're there. You got a couple former Arkansas players on the Travs. I guess Callie was there last night. It's very, that ballpark's really nice too. I don't know if you've ever been to it. It's a really, really nice facility for a Mariners AA affiliate.
Yep.
Am I have that right? So, I have really enjoyed that Arkansas plays the games there and then plays games in Simmons Bank Arena. Not so much in War Memorial.
So
but
why is that? Why do you not mind Simmons Bank and you don't mind Dickie Stevens?
Because
I don't think you're alone. I think you're in the majority of how our Razorback fan base feels.
Doesn't hurt the football. It doesn't hurt your athletics department, which is the football program. Like there's nothing wrong with playing a midweek game Tuesday night against Grambling. I guess the second game you played against them this season, if I had that right, or maybe I'm missing on that. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. But and then the basketball, I know that you've kind of had some weird games there where you've lost. But still, the
answer is the quality of the facility.
Yeah,
right?
and it still doesn't have the same impact from a negative standpoint as it does with your football program, with the amount of, like, you can't have any recruits and everything else. It's a night and day comparison, apples to oranges, and it's just weird how the dynamic is like that.
I'll be interested to see, and I think it goes back to the quality of the facility and the fact that you got 56 regular season, roughly 30 home baseball games. One isn't going to set anybody off. Basketball, you got more home games. I'll be interested to see if the mood changes at all on the basketball game in Little Rock once you start requiring the level of investment from the fan base to have their seats in Bud Walton. Because now you're going to have to pay,
which we need to talk about because they sent out another email.
Right, you're going to have to pay between $5,000 and $10,000, and for a lot of people to keep the seats they have. Well, now do you want that? Is that even something? Because I'm going to be paying more to have the seats in Bud Walton that I've had. I don't know what it's going to cost me yet. Is that one game in Little Rock going to get under the skin, be a little gravel in the shoe for people that are? Well, listen, if I'm paying $8,500 instead of $2,500, I don't want to have one less game in Bud Walton.
I think, and there's probably some truth to that. I
wonder how much it's about money, how much it's about facility. I'm sure all of it blends in somewhere.
You said this last year. The Hot Springs and the Pine Bluff scrimmage events that they had, you were hoping they weren't one-time things. You want them to continue. The Little Rock thing, the North Little Rock thing, Central Arkansas, whatever you want to call it, has been part of Arkansas basketball for quite some time now, with the exception of the COVID year. You hope that with the new regime, new coach, and everything else, that doesn't discontinue. And there's nothing to lead me to believe that would happen. But I
think you've been paying $2,500, now you're paying $10,000 for your seats in Bud Walton. Now you're not losing. You're not losing a game, but wouldn't you want every game there?
Mm-hmm.
I could see where some might.
So you'll have the Baylor. Hutch pointed this out a week ago. The Baylor Bears coming in town this year. You'll have the ACC opponent this year, and then whatever other games are scheduled. The Duke game's going to be in Chicago.
I'm going to guess you'll have no marquee opponents other than
based on what Cal said. It still sounds like you were going to play in New York, unless
I would.
You think that Chicago?
Listen, I don't know anything. My gut feeling is Chicago replaces New York.
You think so? Even with, they had the Kansas City game last year.
You may be right.
It sounded like, at least from what I've heard from Cal.
I hope they do, because I'm going back.
Speaking of Cal, so Nate Amin is the hot name in college in college basketball high school circuits right now. Some of you don't know who he is. He's a 5-star freshman. He is the highest uncommitted prospect on this team right now. Louisville fans raised, $87,000 in all money just together. They pulled it up. If he doesn't go to Louisville, they will get their money back. But obviously, if he goes, they're trying to get him to campus. The reason I bring this up is, how much is it going to take to get this kid to either Fayetteville, to Durham, to Louisville, Kentucky? Again, there's 2 other schools in the mix that I forgot.
And a lot's the answer. But is it always all about money? Just highest bidder?
I think I
don't know that it's always just the highest bidder.
I think what Paul Biancardi of ESPN said, who covers college basketball and high school recruiting, does a great job. He's been on the show before, is Nate wants to look at the transfer portal and how it plays out, and then he's going to make a decision, which good on him.
Smart.
Because it's like, you're like, for Grayson Wilson, CAC Conway quarterback. You've got Nico's younger brother, Madden, gets pulled in the last day. He couldn't have been happy about that. He said on record he didn't know that was happening. He wasn't aware of it. So if you're Nate, you wait till the portal's done, you see what the rosters look like, you see where you think you could play or where you think you have the best chance to win, then you make your decision.
I think in basketball it's about not who you're going to compete with for a job, it's about who can complement your game.
Yeah.
And in basketball it's much shorter windows of opportunity because none of these guys consider they're going to be there more than 1 year.
Yeah. By the way, Mike,
particularly if you're playing in last night's All-Star.
Our buddy Mike Threlkeld at Cedar View IT Solutions says he experienced something similar to you. He says it felt like that Dickey Stevens using their hotspot for the broadcast a game. That's pretty accurate, Mike. They should have gotten you down there, man. You could have helped out with the IT stuff.
There you go. All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms. They do all kinds of dental care and procedures and preventative care with your 6-month checkups, the x-rays, the cleanings, all those things, cavities, any of the kind of more routine stuff. Plus, they do orthodontics. They do the Invisalign. They also do the Snore Guard. So if you've got an issue with snoring, they can help you with that. Just call them right now at 479-226-3500. Make your appointment or go to valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Tell them you heard it here on the Morning Rush. You get $300 off your Snore Guard with Valley Family Dental. If you haven't downloaded the Taco Bell Hit That Line Now app, be sure and do that now to the Apple app or Google Play Store. Taco Bell, if you're craving something saucy, crunchy, cheesy, and delicious, they've got it for you today at Taco Bell.
All right, when we return, Hog Update going to hear from Dave Van Horn last night on the Arkansas win, plus a few football players as spring practice is underway from them being back from spring break.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
I've been wrong before. 1978, I think it was.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get up to $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Hey, do y'all know what time it is? It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha. Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs. Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479 Stadium.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store. South of the North Pole. Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hawks.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Big Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Another Gibbler 0-2. He got him swinging. And Cole Gibbler strikes out the side to shut him down, and this one belongs to the Razorbacks. 7-4 final score, another win. It's 4 in a row. And another win at Dickey-Stevens Park, where the Razorbacks all-timer 12-2.
Phil Elson on the call on the Razorback Sports Network, brought to you by Learfield, and that was a game that I think maybe you expected to win a little larger, but still get a 3-run victory over Grambling yesterday. Got to see plenty of faces. Congrats to Vava Loy, who continues to rake for this Arkansas baseball team. Yes, also had some other good performances as well. And I know Dave Van Horn happy with his team's performance yesterday and just what they were able to accomplish, and he likes playing at Little Rock.
Yeah, I think we started about 15 years ago and just felt like we come to the middle of the state and give these fans an opportunity to come out and watch us play easier without having to come up to Fayetteville. Plus gives us a little road game, maybe helping recruiting or kids who were recruiting from the area, give them a shot to come watch us play a little easier. And then it's just kind of evolved into something we do every year. It's difficult, especially after a road trip, but it's I think it's good for our program.
Again, good for the program. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. I don't get a sense that that's the case for football.
Well, I don't think you can compare the two, but I think the quality of the facility matters. The quality of the opponent matters. You know, if you were down there playing a 3-game an SEC series down there, there'd be some complaining. But you're not. You're playing Grambling in a midweek game, so it's hard to compare because there's 12 football games and 7 to 8 home games in football. You move one of those, it's just not even the same conversation that some are trying to have.
Matt in Huntsville texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. To your question, he said, as a season ticket holder in basketball, if it's Michigan or Memphis, then yes, that game should be at Bud Walton Arena, and I'd be mad about losing it. But if it's Troy or Alabama State and Little Rock, fine. I don't really care losing about that game in Bud Walton Arena. And on top of that, the Little Rock games haven't necessarily been the most marquee of opponents. They always seem to bring more people to stands in North Little Rock versus what you would have in a, let's say, November and December game in Bud Walton. Fair, right? Like, Bud Walton didn't really heat up till, with the exception of Kansas and Purdue, which were marquee opponents, albeit preseason. Like, Bud Walton didn't really feel Bud Walton until, like,
but those are all one-offs, meaning they're not part of the season ticket package, just like last night's baseball game, not part of the season ticket package. So if you're someone that lives in Bryant or Jacksonville or Conway, you can buy your one ticket. There's no commitment. There's no donation. There's, if you can be one of the lucky 10,000 or so to get a ticket, you got in last night. It was a hard ticket. I had people texting all day looking for tickets. It was a hard ticket to find.
And Mr. Tommy Kraft didn't have.
I didn't have any tickets.
Didn't have any
tickets.
That's a shame.
They were going for a reserved seat about $100 on secondary market.
I would like a ticket at some point to see the McDonald's All-American game, which was last night. Here's some thoughts on Darius Acuff, one of the signees coming to Arkansas.
Darius Acuff lined this jump shot up from Cass Tech to IMG. A Detroit bucket maker. Knows how to create space with the jab step, the crossover dribble. He's got great body balance, and he plays with force.
They're really high on them. I heard one of the guys say before the game he felt like he was going to be the MVP of his team. They were not shy to say good things about Malik Thomas. Malik Thomas not shy to say good things about himself. But if you did get a chance to watch it last night, 2 Arkansas Razorbacks, that will be, I guess I need to ask RD in about 30 minutes. Where will they get here in May? June?
I would imagine May at the end of their high school
in the
run.
high school, and they'll head on down to Fayetteville. So that'll be the setup for them as true freshmen. All right, that is your Hog Update here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
You were talking about season tickets just a little while ago, and I saw that they put out the request form. Does that mean, I guess they didn't fully restock the season tickets of the renewals when they sent this out? Like Razorback, I get this Razorback Foundation email yesterday. Like you probably get for basketball.
No,
correct.
I think now they're trying to figure out who wants. I think you got to have a second conversation with people about, all right, you want to keep your seats, here's what it's going to cost. If you want to move to a better location, now here's what that's costs.
It's by June.
If you just want to stay in the building and keep around the same level, here's what that costs.
It's by June the 30th, and then they're going to rank it based on priority points and finalize the basketball seating, and in some people's opinion, more importantly, the parking selection order.
Parking's important and more important in basketball than it is in the other sports, I believe, because the weather's so questionable. I don't want to be.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't want to be way off and have to walk closer to a mile to Bud Walton in colder weather,
20-degree weather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So parking to me is I care a lot more about where my parking location is in basketball than I do football, because there's generally more shuttles available for football as well.
July, they are going to distribute those seating and parking selection appointment times. Kind of the setup for that moving forward.
Hey, we're brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one source for top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or you're a big-scale construction company, they can work with you for the aggregates, the asphalt, the ready-mix that you need for that. And if you need expert advice, their construction consultant services are always on your side and right there to keep you on track. 479-587-3300, 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
All right, when we return, we got our Morning Rush Daily Question. If you've got a beef here this morning, jump in with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. Also want to get into the College Basketball Championship 2025 prenuptial agreement. I think y'all will find it pretty funny.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Do you need to go to a break right now?
This is the Morning Rush.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
When Second's making a play, Short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right cover.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
Is the Duke-Houston game the real national championship game? I've heard that be put out there by some, that they believe those are the best. I think those are SEC haters that say that.
I think that's like the dumbest take ever.
Well, I mean, but I've heard it more than once this week.
I know.
And a lot of, and it's national.
Has anyone watched Walter Clayton Jr. play basketball this year?
And that's exactly, I think
My gosh.
these are people that have a bend against the SEC. But, when we look at this Final Four setup, some believe Duke is just, go ahead and crown them. I think that's some of the legacy reputation of Duke taking over. But,
maybe I've fallen into that trap.
I think
hope
you
I
have a little bit. Coach K's not coaching this team still.
Yeah.
And I think people are downgrading Houston. And listen, Duke's the favorite. They should win the game. But to just write Houston off is one thing. But I find it interesting, some of the national conversations, some of the texts we've gotten here on the Lewis Automotive text line that think that game's really the winner of that will be the national champion.
I was thinking about this, and I'm not going to because it'd be just outright rude to my family. But that Chicago game is so alluring. Like playing Duke in the United Center on Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna not spend Thanksgiving with my family, but they're not.
Oh no, you'll be here doing the post game.
Yeah.
You'll be here doing Hog Reaction
by
yourself.
I'll be.
Now you got to run the board and do the show and answer the phone.
And the other thing is I'm going to Ann Arbor that next day, so it's like I probably shouldn't do Chicago then.
What do you mean? We play Missouri the next day.
Yeah, but it was
the day after.
We got that figured out. You guys.
We do. I have it figured out, and it involved you.
You guys can handle it. It won't be a good post game. We'll lose to Missouri like we always do. That being said,
Duke and Houston.
No, like how can you say that if you've watched any of Florida play this year? Janai Broom's playing with one arm. They're not going to win. Auburn's not going to win that game. If he was healthy, I would take the Tigers in this one. But the kid has one arm, and Florida feels like the team of destiny right now when it comes to that basketball team. So no, I think that is if you want to say that about like a College World Series game that's pitted between two SEC teams, that's fine. But to me, that is so stupid to have that idea. Do you think that? You don't think that, do you?
That's the national championship.
Yeah,
no.
Duke and Houston. Yeah.
No, I think Florida wins the national title.
I tend to think
I got Florida picked as the champion, but I've got Houston beating Duke.
And I hope
now if I had it to do over, I might change. I might change my pick, but
you will gain more.
Oh, I'll win the bracket contest
if
in
Houston
our group
beats Duke
because I'm the only one that's got that.
Okay, yeah, because I picked all four.
And if Duke wins, I won't win. It's that simple.
I think I told you this. Even if the Final Four plays out like it is supposed to, in my mind, I'm not even going to make the top 5. So I really don't have a problem. I mean, that's why I want Houston to win because it doesn't really affect my bracket one way or another. All right, is Duke and Houston, the Final Four, the real national championship game this weekend. It is the latter game. I think it's like 8:49, if I remember that or correctly, Central Time on Saturday night. Is that the real Final Four game? And Tommy's favorite broadcaster, Ian Eagle, along with Grant Hill and Bill Raftery on the call for that.
Fine. He's just not great.
He's
boring.
Harlan's really good, and my opinion of him just went up even more after this weekend. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Speaking of great, Christian Olson, Nate Garahan's facility in Northwest Arkansas is very much that. They've got the Masters Invitational going on where you can play Augusta right now. You can play one over 1,000 courses in not just in Arkansas, but all over the United States. It's a BYOB facility, corporate events, birthday parties, you name it, they can do it. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, 479-487-3622, or go online at cartpasssocial.com. John at Mountain Home says that it is, in his opinion, Tommy, it is the national championship game.
What do you think? You can text us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline or give us a call. We'll head to the phones in just a minute. It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday. It's always brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, getting you ready for that shrimp boil this spring, or maybe it's a weekend on the grill with hand-cut ribeyes. They can do all of that for you. 479-443-0000. Call and place your order, or just swing by, and that's what I like to do. Swing by, look in the meat counter, figure out exactly what you want, and maybe there's something unique and different you haven't had before. You can try those different cuts that are there as well.
Yeah.
Hanger steaks, and if you're doing fajitas, a good flank steak or something. It's all just one block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive in Fayetteville.
Curtis hates the SEC, so he feels like it is the national championship
I
game.
think some of the national guys, it's just SEC hate.
Eddie in Russellville saying last week that Duke was going to win. I think Eddie, you correct me if I'm wrong, but what I believe I said in the same case, I think Duke's going to beat Houston. If it comes down to that and Florida beats Auburn, I want Florida to beat Duke because I hate Duke more than I hate other SEC teams. By the way, talking the SEC, I want to say they collected like $70 million that they're getting from the NCAA tournament. I had this down somewhere. 22 games, about $70 million that they're getting. I don't know if they're going to divvy it out amongst all the schools or just the ones that made the tournament.
No, it goes into the pot and goes into your annual distribution.
And it goes to all the schools in that setup.
Part of what makes up that 65 or whatever the check is up to now.
Okay. Brent is in Searcy this morning. Brent, you were on the Morning Rush here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What's up, man?
What's up, Ty and Tommy?
Good morning.
First of all, Ty and Ty, I got to tell you what a great job Colton did co-hosting with you. I believe it was it Thursday?
Not all last week. All last week. Yeah, you did a fantastic job, Colton. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Hey, thanks, Brent. You'll have to let me know the zip code to Searcy so I can send you a check there.
Okay, I can give it to you right. No, I don't need any. I just wanted to tell you, I know you don't get any love for answering the phones, but you did a fantastic job.
Thank you, Brent. I don't need that, but I appreciate you. Hey, people like you are why I answer them. You're a good man.
Oh, thank you. Don't tell anybody that, though.
All right, we done with the love fest here? What's your take?
Yeah, we're done. We're done. My take is that Duke and Houston gonna be a great game. I would love to see Houston win it, and then in the finals, I would love to see them and Florida just to see how Houston would attack all their bigs.
I think that's the game I've got picked in my bracket. I'm interested to see that over-under is at 136.5 for the Florida and Duke game on the Bet Saracen app. Man, where do you fall? Because I do believe that it's obviously setting up to be a low-scoring game. Is that a 65-63 game?
Usually, life's too short to take the under, but in this case, I think you actually might be better off taking the under.
Mm-hmm. But every time it seems obvious, you get burnt, Brent.
Oh yeah, but that's why I don't bet on the Bet Saracen app. I'm just telling you.
Ringing endorsement.
Yeah, they appreciate those words.
Oh man. Well, Brent, I hope it plays out like you have it. I would like to see Florida and Houston advance, and honestly, I'd hope Houston wins the national championship. But I think Duke's going to end up beating them. But we'll see Saturday. Go ahead.
can I ask you one more question? How big is Florida's front line? I know Condon's 7 feet, right?
You got
all their guys are like 6'10", 7 feet.
So Howell's probably 6'10". You got I think it's the Silla kid that's 6'11". Then you got his last name begins with the H. They have like the biggest front court in college basketball. Todd Golden did a fantastic job. Appreciate the call, Brent. And also getting Walter Clayton Jr. from Iona, who I don't think anyone expected him to be the All-American point guard he is. They got the kid from FAU, one of John L. Davis's former teammates. They've got some other pieces. Golden talked about him. He felt like he picked out some guys that wanted to be Florida Gators. And I've said this about him. He's very much in that Billy Donovan mold. Billy Donovan won his first national championship at 40 years old. Golden's 39. Florida, while they don't have the same amount of national championship, as NCAA tournament appearances as Arkansas, I think Arkansas is second only, trailing Kentucky in this league. They're on the brink of another national championship. And Kruger took them to the Final Four same year as you went in '94. He got the 2 national champions back-to-back in 06, 07. And now Tommy, they might add another one in that trophy case here in just a few days.
Yeah, might so. Hey, be sure and get by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Today, kids eat for $5. You can go in. They got a great kids menu, $5 today. Plus, they got the coloring contest. Ty, that might be right up your alley, the coloring contest with their unique sheets.
Think I could stay inside the lines?
I was going to say, could you color within the lines? That's all.
Probably not.
Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Creative.
Tomorrow is Throwback Thursday. They'll bring back the Kuko's platters that made them famous. All the great flavors that you want, and the ones that bring back great memories are tomorrow on Throwback Thursday. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Hart.
This text, I think it's from Ryan in Prairie Grove, talking about his beef is every single family member this morning that he's related to or close is blowing up his phone since 5 a.m. telling me there's bad weather out there. He says, I'm bleeping aware. He has 16 farm weather apps. I know it's going to be tough later on, though. And it's really, tell me, we've got bad weather from today all the way to Saturday. I'm going to be honest, I was excited to get on the golf course. Basketball's over. Our schedule's lighting up a little bit, and yet we don't have any weather that's conducive to playing golf at all this week.
No, and maybe cart path only till May 15th.
Yeah.
But rain is going to get this week.
The way things are.
And the bad thing is you did all that yard mowing, and guess what? Now it's going to grow a bunch.
Well,
you have to mow it again.
Here's my thought. I wanted to get it done yesterday because I don't do yard work on Sunday. Sunday is a day for binge eating and just relaxing and occasionally doing some work. But if I had to do that on Monday, Monday's already bad enough, pile up a bunch of yard work on top of that, and the grass would grow even higher.
Sweat all that binge eating.
The binge eating, on Sundays.
Liquid eating.
It is it is a day. It's
diet.
a frozen pizza at night and a fast food lunch for
I
lunch.
saw your grocery list or your picture of your
Did you see
grocery
that?
list. That's for a full week? You said that was for a full week?
You split up the steaks, 2 steaks, chocolate milk, mushrooms, barbecue sauce, and a frozen pizza. That was my grocery cart this week.
God bless you.
All right. So that's like 3 days at my house. My kids eat, Taco Bell's got 4th meal. They've got 4th meal before dinner. Then that's 5th meal, and then there's 6th meal with.
Are you on the DoorDash credit line?
Oh,
have you
built
built some credit on
absolutely.
DoorDash?
Hey, Will's RV is having their NWA outdoor show or outdoor party and RV show April 12th and the 13th. That's obviously a week away from this Friday and Saturday and Sunday. That's coming up in Rogers. They're going to be pairing up with Moix. They're going to have on-site financing. All the top brands that we've been telling you about are there. Bounce houses for the kids. It's going to be a fun event next weekend in Rogers. It's going to be on Pauline Whitaker Parkway right behind Nukes. It's the NWA RV show and outdoor party next weekend with Will's RV.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Nukes. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. Wednesday, ladies' night. I know you love Wednesdays here.
I love my Wednesdays. All the ladies come out. We have $5.99 small cheesy bread. We have pink panty droppers on special. We've got blow bombs on special. And it's all about ladies on a Wednesday here at Papa.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3,
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some rough weather with a baseball-sized hail, 60 to 80 mile-per-hour winds, and the chance of tornadoes. In addition, we're looking at very heavy rain over the next couple of days. We end up in the upper 70s today. Showers and thunderstorms with heavy downpours tonight. We drop into the 50s to near 60. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light. Please drink responsibly.
A man's got to go his own way. A friend taught me that.
You want to know who the best is? That's him, Iceman. It's the way he flies, ice cold, no mistakes.
Isn't that a dazy?
You put a live round in that gun.
Well, yeah, there was like an 8% chance.
What's that? 8? 8?
Yeah.
Who taught you math?
You are still dangerous. You can be my wingman anytime. The plaque for the alternates down in the ladies' room.
And what an ugly thing to say.
Wait. I have a riddle for you.
I see without seeing. To me, darkness is as clear as daylight. What am I?
Please! You're as blind as a bat!
Exactly.
Wretched slugs. Don't any of you have the guts to fight for blood? I'm your huckleberry.
This is the Morning Rush.
Some great clips from Val Kilmer's movies over the years. The actor is dead at 65 years old yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I thought this was an April Fool's joke and then ends up not being the fact. I was, Tommy, fooled by an April Fool's joke that Tony Vitello was going to the Atlanta Braves. I saw that. I don't know if you saw that as well yesterday, Colton, but I tried to keep my radar up. I tried to keep my eyes and ears open and just being aware of being like, hey, don't get tricked. And yet I still fell into that trap yesterday with Vitello.
I saw that one, and then I also saw one that I thought was fake until I read something again this morning that Chris Beard is apparently a front runner for the A&M job.
Yeah, I just saw that as well. Pete Nanko's on 3, putting him on the top of his hot board. And I know sometimes hot boards are just fun to talk about and everything else. But that would, I don't know, and we talked about this, I think, a little bit earlier. What is the thought on A&M as a basketball job? Like, where does your mind go for A&M? Buzz Williams, by the way, if you haven't heard, hired at Maryland. He's the new Maryland head coach, and that is, again, recently come down when it comes to him. By the way, Buzz Williams every 5 years.
I'm not going to be here.
Marquette, BTech, A&M, now Maryland. He'll be doing the same thing 5 years. But what is the thought on that A&M job?
You're in the shadow of it's a football school. It's a football school. That's
but I don't.
I don't even know that it's basketball second. I think it may be baseball second there.
And I don't feel maybe Cal or Muss or Mike or anyone else in the past. While you are at an SEC institution coaching this basketball program, I don't get the same sense that coaches feel that way about Arkansas. Like, while football makes more money and that this is still a football state, you could, I think, say it's a basketball school, and no one's going to blink an eye when you say that.
So let's talk about that job and who may get it in just a moment. It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. They have everything you need for a great shrimp boil. Tender shrimp in a variety of sizes, 16 to 20 a pound, the 31 to 35 a pound count. You can find those, plus the hearty potatoes, the flavorful sausage, and the corn. Got to have the corn in the shrimp boil to make it work. And it all comes together with one of their spice packets. You can get it as spicy as you want, from mild to spicy, that great Cajun, that bold Cajun flavor they can help you get for your shrimp boil. Richard's Country Meat Market, 479-443-0000, or swing by 1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive in Fayetteville.
JT in Hot Springs texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying, Beer is from Texas and would love to stick it to UT for firing him. That would be interesting. Think about like the triangle. Tech, Texas, A&M, like to be a coach of all three of those schools.
And the buyouts in basketball generally, I don't know what Beard's buyout situation is at A&M. Now, they throw money around like nobody's business, but with rev share and NIL and everything to be competitive, I don't know what Ole Miss would get in the form of a buyout if he walked away at this point. He's an interesting name and a name that makes sense, but I don't know that financially, even for A&M, who's trying to figure out how to get on the right footing for football, do you want to prop up the hiring of a basketball coach and what that, because his contract's still, I mean, the ink's dried on it at Ole Miss, but it's still pretty fresh.
Yeah. Gavin in Fayetteville, Buzz Williams is on the must coaching plan. Stay a little while and bolt when it comes to Beard. That is an intriguing name. Keith Carter, who's the athletics director of Ole Miss, Perryville native. I'm curious to see what his thoughts are and what he'll be doing in the coming days when it relates to his basketball coach. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit, but our buddy Richard Davenport now joins us.
Do you know what the preservation room is for?
Delicious jams and jellies?
No. Richard Davenport on the Morning Rush is brought to you by House of Webster. From the heart of Arkansas, House of Webster delivers top-tier jams, jellies, and sauces with a flavor you can't find anywhere else. That's a tap.
All right, RD, this Native sweepstakes is really interesting. So you got Louisville, that's their fan base is raised like 87,000. Cal's referenced the one freshman they're still after, which is him. Duke's apparently in the running. The Boozer brothers have been talking to him, trying to get him to Durham. How close of a race is it right now, in your opinion, for Arkansas, Duke, and some of the other schools when it comes to landing Native Men?
I think it's very competitive. I mean, obviously he's the last big prize of the 25 class still available, and he's a difference maker, at least if you.
We lose RD
there. I think it's on his end.
Okay, all right. We'll try and get Richard Davenport back momentarily. Some of you aren't familiar with this kid. Highest, as Richard was just talking about, Native Men is the highest non-committed or signed player right now in this upcoming 2025 class. I know we've had a lot of questions here on ESPN Arkansas, like, hey, who's Arkansas going after? Who's they're going to get? That's the one lone freshman. You've got two that were on display last night in Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas. You've got one that maybe you've watched in-state or maybe you've heard about in-state in Isaiah Sealy. That would be the fourth freshman that they would add to this class. Currently, Arkansas has not added or had any commitments from any transfer players. You've had a couple guys exit, Casimir Chavis, Melo Sanchez, and also Big Z, who's the most notable of the bunch. But again, Nate Amet's the guy. Nate, RD, you back?
Yeah, I think we got him back.
Hey guys.
All right.
Finish your thought on Nate. Sorry, I think we lost connection with you.
Yeah, it's all good. No, I think it's obviously going to be very competitive, and I think and based on what he was saying at the McDonald's All-American game, that he's going to wait and kind of see how things turn out as far as the portal, which makes sense. You want to know what the team's going to look like when you get there. Make a decision a little later after things settle down with the portal. But I really think that from a competitive standpoint, I think it's going to be tough to beat Kentucky. Reason I say that, I just tend to think that they're going to go all out and they're going to throw a big bag of money to him so he doesn't come to Arkansas. Obviously they want him and all that, but I think it's an ego thing for Kentucky to be able to beat Cal for Amen. I could be totally wrong, but I think that I think this is something that they see. It's kind of personal, and I bet if anything, money wise, I think that they'll be the ones throwing the most money.
So where is money in the priority list for guys at this caliber? I mean, the 5-star level can go anywhere they want. I think because of none of us are facing down and burdened with 2-comma income. So we think about it a little different. But is money the number one priority? Is it NBA development the number one priority? Because I can't imagine there's going to be a ton of difference in the money no matter where he lands.
That's the thing. How much difference is it? If it's a sizable difference, yeah, I think that does make a difference. That certain teams will say, "Hey, well, we can only go this far, or we can go 2.5 or whatever." You know, we truly all won't know at the end. But if a team is offering $1 million more, that's pretty sizable, and I think that could make a difference. Now, yeah, NBA development's going to make a big deal, a big difference, I think, too. So, but I think if the money's pretty sizable difference, I think that could definitely influence his decision.
Because that's where Cal and his staff, I think, have the edge. I mean, John Shire doesn't have the track record that, and who does now with the retirements we've had. But as far as track record of getting guys to the NBA, it's not Mark Pope, it's not Shire, it's not Louisville, it's not Cal's got
but at
the
the same
goods
time,
there.
when you're a guy like him, you're thinking, I need that development, but at the same time, I'm so talented. I'm gonna be a one and done anyway. I mean, these guys are good guys, especially the people around them, and just all the notoriety that they get over the last 2 or 3 years of their high school career. They get an inflated opinion about themselves, and I tend to think that they feel like that no matter where they go, that they're gonna be able to go to the NBA. So I mean, that's just me talking.
Yeah.
So I think that I think NBA development is definitely a consideration, but I think that when you get to his status, and especially since and these kids read this stuff too. I mean, I think what was it, ESPN in the 2026 as far as the NBA draft, they were projecting him to go number 4. And he sees that. I mean, he's thinking, well, heck, he's a pretty mature kid. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, that has to kind of enter your mind, thinking, I'm most likely going to the NBA, regardless where I go. So, I think that's something to take in consideration.
So I know the transfer portal closes on the April 22nd of this month, but Richard, when do high school kids have to sign by? Like May?
Oh gosh, I've been focused on the portal, and I've forgotten when the national signing.
Isn't that wild though? Like your job, and we've talked about this. Your job has just completely changed. Like, not that you aren't following a Mint or some of the other high school prospects, Arkansas basketball wise, in the state, but I mean, you're more heavily focused on kid like Keyshawn Hall at UCF, or the brother of the Auburn kid. Like you've got so many more people to obviously follow and everything else, but more of your focus has been on that, and that's really the same way the coaches are too, aren't they, RD?
Yeah, pretty much. And you can sign at any time. I mean, even beyond the time period that it says for the window. But I'll just have to look on that. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I just got off vacation and been focused on the portal, but. I'd keep an eye on Lamar Wilkerson too from Sam Houston. I really think that he's one to keep an eye on.
Ashdown kid, right? Okay,
right. Ashdown kid who shot 44% from or it might be 45% from 3. I think if you're going to the portal and you're looking for guards, I think you're looking for guys that can help you improve your 3-point shooting percentage, and obviously he's one of those guys that can do that. Where I think Keyshawn Hall, I think he's right around 35%. So it's still good, but you get a guy shooting close to 45% from 3. I mean, that's pretty elite.
Richard, you did have a football commitment, I guess, yesterday. Cade Bush, I believe Minnesota kid, 3-star tight end, class of 2026. Starting to add that Pittman and Stafford starting to add a couple more guys to that class, aren't they?
Yeah, same school as Frank Ragnow, and he told me that they actually have Frank's Arkansas jersey in the athletic facility, so that's pretty cool. But 6'5", about 220 pounds. He visited a few weeks ago and had a good time. and I obviously decided to be a Razorback. So good get for Coach Turner and Coach Pittman.
What'd you do on vacation?
Went down to Hot Springs just for a couple of days and saw my sister and had dinner with them and just spent time with them. But other than that, kind of chilled, did some things around the house.
Did you get in a bath down there? One of those hot baths?
No, I've never done a bath.
You ever done one of those, Tommy?
My wife
Once.
My wife has done that a couple of times. She loves it, but I've never done a bath. She loves massages. I'm not a big massage guy, so I'm a little different from that aspect.
Okay. Well, while you may not be a fan of baths, I know you are a fan of House of Webster and all their products. Jams, jelly, sauces, the best in the business. RD, I know the Carolina Reapers, what you've been munching on lately. Anything new you've been eating on for Mike and the guys?
No, but I usually when I do have some toast, I do that apple butter, but or even a bagel, I'll throw it on the bagel.
Can I tell you what I did last week? And you guys can't judge
What'd
me.
you do?
I put. I'm going to get ripped for this, but it was good, so I don't care. I put strawberry preserves on my steak, and it was really good.
What made you think to do that?
It was just sitting out, and it's good on everything, so I slapped it on there. It's like, this is pretty good. So strawberry preserves on steak. I don't know if Mike and them want that endorsement.
Salt, seasoning, and sweet, believe it or not, go together. I haven't done that, but I've done things that are somewhat similar as far as when you have sodium, something that has a lot of salt or sodium, and you add some sweet, it's pretty good.
Why peanut butter and jelly is such a great thing.
Peanut butter and jelly day, by the way. Yeah. So take advantage. HouseofWebster.com. You can get all their jams, jellies, and sauces made right here locally here in Arkansas, and you can stop by and see their location in Rogers as well. RD, glad you're back from vacation, man. We'll catch up next week. Hopefully we'll have kind of some more updates when it comes to Arkansas basketball recruiting, whether it's Nate Mint.
Yeah, I tend to think that we'll probably be hearing between now and then we'll hear some stuff. So we'll see.
All right, RD, appreciate it, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, some good updates there and everything else. A week from now, what is that? April the 9th? You think?
Well, you got a dead period right now. Now that doesn't necessarily apply to the transfer, but all the coaches go to the Final Four. They have their coaching convention. You do have a dead period with guys like Mint from the 3rd through the 10th. Now, I think that doesn't preclude him from signing. I don't think that keeps him from doing that, but that's another important note is all these guys will gather starting tomorrow in San Antonio. They'll have their coaching convention. If you remember last year, that's where the conversation with Hunter Yurachek and Cal began, was at the Final Four. So there'll be some deal making. There'll be some schools looking for coaches. There'll be coaches looking for maybe another opportunity that, some things will go down in San Antonio. So it always does at that coaching convention.
Is how high up on the bucket list is to go to a Final Four?
For me?
For you?
Not even in the top five.
I understand, you can't put it in a basketball arena because you lose 3/4 of your seating. With as far out as you have as a vantage point to watch those games, they're just...
Now, if Arkansas was playing, that's a different deal.
Yeah.
But just to go, someone offered, if they weren't decent seats, I wouldn't want to go
think
this
about
year.
So, let's go back, and I don't know the exact arenas, but 95, you're playing in Seattle, right? At Seattle.
In 95?
Yeah. 94's in Charlotte,
right?
Basketball arena in both those places. You're not playing a football. 90, you're playing in Denver, another basketball arena. And I guess I don't know where 78 was, to be honest, off the top of my head. But, those fans, if you went to that as an Arkansas fan, that experience, not only because your team was playing, but you could actually see the actual game which is going on. Nowadays,
it's not been that many years ago since they started doing the floor in the center of the court of a football arena. But it also makes getting a ticket, if you just want to be in the building, it makes it, of all the major sporting events, probably one of the more attainable.
Yeah. The key on that is you get on StubHub or whatever else and you look at the seats that haven't been sold and you just go sit in them. You don't buy them. You buy one of the upper deckers and then you
like
mid game. And if they're,
that's
you could call it that if you want to.
Well, yeah.
By the way,
Did you pay for that seat?
You paid to get in the building.
Do you pay for that seat?
Not technically,
Okay.
but it's not being occupied. So it's possession is what 9/10 of the law. Your butt's in the seat, that counts as possession for me.
Till somebody walks up that has that ticket.
Yeah, that's happened to me in Chesapeake Arena back in the day before it became Paycom with Oklahoma City. I took the 2 playoff Thunder shirts, had to give those back. It was I was in college. It was kind of embarrassing, but it was still fun. Thunder won that game. So
Not your seat.
yeah.
Hey, well, speaking of all the
Because
road
you've never
trips-
done that in any case, have you?
No, I wouldn't do that. I just pay for the seat, right?
I don't have the I don't get the income you do, so it's a little harder for me. I'm an upper decker. I'm a peasant that sits up top in these situations.
It's all earned in life, Ty. It's
Yeah,
all earned.
is that right?
Hey, speaking of earning something, how about a great ride from Rath Auto Resources?
Yes, absolutely. So we were talking with Larry about this yesterday, joking about the lawn mowing and stuff. I think when it comes to what you look for in a vehicle, I was joking about my lawnmower not working, not knowing it works. If you buy a pre-owned vehicle, sometimes you don't always get what you want. Well, the good thing about Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi, they're inspected and they're reconditioned in both of their Meineke car care centers. I had major issues with my grandpa's old Hyundai. I bought it from him, and I mean, he didn't know this. My grandma didn't know this, but it went through a bunch of stuff because didn't get expected and it wasn't being driven a lot. So when you stop and see David or Larry, the cars that you're looking at, the vehicles, trucks, whatever the case may be, again, they go through the Meineke Car Care Center. Someone that's been through there, it's a lot of steps that they go through. They check each and everything. A lot of pre-owned vehicles don't have a warranty. Well, again, at Rath Auto Resources, they are road ready certified, so they do. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. You'll get one of the vehicles that you will be driving not just for a year or two, but for years to come. And there's a lot of customers that, again, have stopped by and see them for cars after that, family members, friends, and so on from that as well. Getting blasted here right now with the
rightfully so
the take of the strawberry preserves on that.
I could see that being like a finish that you put on, lightly glaze it on as you finish the steak off on the grill, but just to pour it out on the plate, kind of like you would steak sauce, makes me question your choice of cut of meat, and then also, do you still put ketchup on steak?
No, I learned my lesson.
Yeah, you don't do that either, do you?
Ryan at Prairie Grove says
You
that
used to.
it makes a good marinade, but not don't use it in marmalade. Cole in the Ford says Ty is an alien. Scott says your man card is revoked. So that was not that.
I can see like Walt Richards talking about the saltiness and the sweetness, but
I stand by it. It was good. I stand by
sometimes you ever had a Monte Cristo sandwich and they give you like some jelly to go with that? That's not a steak, Sometimes, that sweetness is a nice.
I can see where you're coming from, Ty. I used to have an affinity for Sonic breakfast burritos with the grape jelly on top. It's pretty good.
I mean, sausage biscuits at Hardee's, and we always have that debate, putting the jelly on it.
By the way, B in Clarksville says the seat thing is theft, or it's thrift, not theft. So it's just thrifting. I'm just thrifting seats in whatever arena. Now I wouldn't think to do that in Bud Walton, of course, but in other venues, yes.
That's the place you probably can get away with it.
From time to time.
Arena.
Yeah.
All right, what are your thoughts? Ty putting strawberry jam on a steak.
Preserves,
maybe you got
thank
a beef. It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday. You can call or text those in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963.
Jeff says his great grandma used to eat steak with jelly on it. So me and your great grandma, Jeff, are like minded in that. Jesse in Springdale says a steak that needs anything after cooking isn't worth eating. I just people that hate sausage, I don't like. People get mad, and I get if you're at a restaurant and something is cooked a certain way and it's made to be, but like you sauce snobs out there, and you know who you are. That'd
be me.
You're just like, well, you
right
can't
here.
put this on.
I'm right here.
You can't put. Yeah, I can. It's my own food. If I would have put this on
if it's a fine cut of meat. Now, I mean, if you got the bargain basement,
it was an Aldi steak. It's
sirloin, the $4.99 a pound sirloin.
I wouldn't do that I wouldn't do that to a Richards, of course, because that's perfectly and wonderfully made. But I bought it was a lesser grade, so that's the difference.
Need a little help?
Yes.
So, hey, it's Final Four weekend. If you haven't downloaded the Oakland Sports app, do that. Each of your first 10 days, you're going to get up to $100 in bonus betting on a second chance bet. If your first bet doesn't work out, they'll give you an extra bet for up to $100 each of your first 10 days up to $1,000 total. So check that out right now. Oaklawn is the place. Plus, they got the bonus on the parlays. We can get an extra 10% profit boost right now. If your parlay's at least plus 1,000, they'll boost that to plus 1,100 for you if it's higher than 1,000. All right, so check that out on the parlays. I know a lot of you love playing those high odds parlays with the Oaklawn Sports app. So download it now. Bet with a brand new trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
All right, when we come back, SEC update. Do you think Chris Beard is an actual candidate for the Texas A&M job? We'll give our thoughts coming up here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
If I talk like this, it doesn't mean I'm mad. I'm talking loud. If I'm mad, I'm going to let you know I'm mad.
This is the Morning Rush.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The Paint Store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
That man right there, next to Wade, one of the greatest people you will ever meet. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time in basketball in general. He's changed my life. He's changed each and every one of our lives. And I'm so thankful for him, Coach Buzz. You mean everything to me. I love you. No matter what, I know you're going to be one call away, one text away. And no matter what anybody says, he's one of the greatest. And y'all can't change that. And nobody will change that or take that from him.
So I know Texas A&M players, like the one you just heard, sad to see Buzz Williams leaving for the Maryland job. The Texas A&M job is vacant as of this moment. Curious to see if Chris Beard, who apparently is from Texas, has any interest, or if there's interest on the A&M side from getting Chris Beard, who had a lot of success in just year 2 in Oxford, Mississippi. Chris Beard wins everywhere he goes. Little Rock, league before that, Ole Miss, won at Texas. He's a winner, proven, and has done it in the Southeastern Conference as well. So that'll be something to monitor when it comes to that job and everything else, what shakes out. But maybe what domino effect if he leaves, like what domino effect could that cause in the league with Ole Miss and everything else, which I wouldn't consider a good basketball job, but he's turned it into one. You are close to Memphis.
And if you're A&M, you will do anything to stick it to your rival in Texas. So hiring their former coach after the way that ended with the domestic violence dispute and allegations, charges dropped, all those things. We, kind of go back through that story a little bit. You can stick it to a conference mate a little bit, which I don't think their goal's really to ruffle feathers with Ole Miss. But, man, if they can turn the knife a little bit with Texas, why wouldn't you do it if you're A&M?
I think you're on to something. Hey, have either of y'all heard the story about Michi Johnson? So, do you know what this story is?
Tell me.
Does that sound familiar? Does that name? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Michi Johnson is a former South Carolina Gamecock and Ohio State Buckeye. Listen to this. Started his career at Ohio State, then transferred to South Carolina.
Right.
Went back to Columbus, and now is back in Columbia.
So he went Columbus and Columbia.
He went back and forth.
That's what's wrong with this whole thing.
I've seen, like Jimmy Witt, for example, Arkansas, SMU, Arkansas. But Colton, you might have seen a scenario that I haven't seen. I think this is the first flip-flop that I've seen in the transfer portal, where it's the same school back to back to back to back.
At least for a notable player, because Michi Johnson had given us some nightmares in the past as well. So
he's a dog.
Yeah,
he's a great
and
player.
So it's always good for South Carolina. Yeah, that's why you can do that.
So, and I mentioned yesterday on the show, Colin Murray Boyles, who is the best player on South Carolina. He apparently got a $2.5 million offer, according to his head coach, Lamont Paris. That's a kid that might be worth the money because he can have a league in the SEC. I'm wary, and Tommy, I don't know where you come down on this. Like, I'm obviously not eventually Remy Cofield or Cal or the rest of his staff that's trying to figure out, hey, what's this player actually worth? Like, giving all that money to a true freshman is just such a higher risk than a player that's proven themselves in college basketball.
But it's the fear of, if I don't, my rival will. They'll win, I won't, and then I lose my job. That's the paranoia that drives this. Agents know that, kids know it, and they try to take advantage of that. They can't blame them for that, but that's exactly why you're worth what somebody will pay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, then the challenge is living up to the expectation. But who's to say what these guys will get? That's going to be the hard thing for Remy Cofield or anyone else in a GM role is how do you balance out where you go deep for a player just because they got 5 stars and where you say, you know what, we're good, we'll pass. That's going to be, and then the friction between the head coach and the GM and how all that's going to work will be an interesting dynamic if you could be a fly on the wall.
I have liked listening to Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas these last few days.
Do you think we could take the Spurs tournament next year?
100%. I think we could win a national championship. Facts.
What did you say? That kid's not lacking confidence?
No, I didn't like how
Darius hasn't said as much, but Malik has kind of been out there and open his opinions, which I always say, if you can back it up, power to you. We'll
what
see
was
if
that first word?
If you can back it. If. Okay, if.
The biggest 2-letter word in the dictionary.
Yeah. Continue on your SEC update. Ella McDowell, Arkansas softball player, has been named SEC Freshman of the Week. Congratulations to her. And then Josh Hubbard, Mississippi State point guard / shooting guard, has entered the NBA draft, but still maintaining his collegiate eligibility. I'm going to be honest. If I'm Carter Knox and I came on at the end of the season like I had, I put my name in the draft. Maintain your college eligibility. Coaches, scouts, GMs, what do I have to do to make myself a premier player sophomore year? Okay, I got to do this. All right, bet. Come back to school. Why wouldn't you do that if you're Carter or anyone else that's kind of like a fringe into second round guy, which is what he probably is? Why would you not do that and see what you need to do to make it to the next level? That's just, for me, that's common sense.
Yeah. All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custards. They have 3 locations, 4 that we want to tell you about. 2 in Conway, 1 on East Oak, and then 1 on Dave Ward Drive, also JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You can stop in for all your favorite treats, whether it's an after-school treat or something favorite maybe for your tailgate or your game time watch. You can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. Right now you can download the Andy's app that makes it even easier to keep up with your favorite flavors, your favorite orders, and get rewards as well. So download the Andy's app from the Apple app or Google Play Store. That's Andy's Frozen Custards, Conway, North Little Rock, and in Fort Smith. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you.
3-2 pitch on the way now to Aloy. Is punched over the shortstop. A blooper drops in left field, base hit. Go ahead base hit for Vahiba Aloy. 1-1 pitch. A chopper hit through the right side. They'd open it up for him, base hit. Davalon rounding third. Hill's throw from right field is cut off. A run-scoring single by Kahio Aloy.
Arkansas wins 7-4 yesterday. The Aloy brothers had themselves a good day, combining 4 of 7 from the field. Vaheva had 3 runs, an RBI, and 2 walks in the game. And then Kahio Aloy was 2 for 4 with the run and an RBI as well. Arkansas now takes on Missouri this weekend. A Tigers team, by the way. Any guess on their record in conference?
Well, 0-9.
0-9. 0-9 this weekend as they come to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Then it ramps up. I know you were...
And hey, just on this weekend, hopefully the weather doesn't keep you from having a full 3-game series, number one, and because these are 3 games you need to win badly. So hopefully Friday and Saturday, you can at least get a couple of games in somewhere in that window. Friday may be a washout, though.
I was going to say, I don't think they're going to play at all on Friday.
Well, when you look at where the heaviest rains and the most accumulation over the course of 4 or 5 days, it's not the northwest corner. It's not Washington and Benton County, but it's still going to be wet there. But hopefully, you can find enough windows to get those games in where you don't end up only playing 2 or something, because you really need to take advantage of winning 3. You got 30 games. This is 10% of your conference schedule this weekend, and this is a series. Based on what you've seen so far, you should be able to go out and get 3.
And
and you're at home.
The television look will be better than it was this past weekend. As I said earlier, I'm just happy they had something. Sometimes you go down to North Little Rock in football or basketball or baseball, and there's nothing, like you can't view it in any way, shape, or form. You can always listen to here on ESPN Arkansas or hitthatline.com. But I did see felt like the main story from the baseball team is the broadcast complaints from yesterday,
because they won as a ho-hum win over Grambling. It was probably a closer game than people thought as far as the run spread, but
9,300 in attendance, pretty good.
Well, I mean that game's always a sellout because of the scarcity of Arkansas baseball in North Little Rock, or in the Central Arkansas area. But in the end, it's just it's a footnote to the season. It's a game you couldn't afford to lose, but I mean, well, Let me back up. That's a game you could have afforded to lose, but it's not a blemish on your record. You won, you move on.
I teased this earlier, Tommy. I wanted to bring this up. There's a sports book that's offering a college basketball championship 2025 prenuptial agreement, the Hoops and Harmony contract. The couples have to decide how many of the 67 NCAA tournament games that the man should be able to watch, because a survey or sports book surveyed 1,000 couples, and they found that 28% admit that sports cause relationship harm. What do you think? I guess this would be like the college football season Saturdays, and NFL if you're into that on Sundays, which I am. Some of you aren't, but these last couple weeks, I would guess, have caused a few back and forths between married couples with the amount of college basketball that's being consumed.
I don't ever have an issue of watching the game. That's never the problem. It's where do you watch the game? Are you going to stay home and watch it? If there's ever and it's rare that we, there's plenty of other things to argue about, but it's rare we argue about watching a game or whatever, because rarely does it keep us from doing what we want. And hey, technology's great. Now you can take your phone or tablet anywhere and watch it where you go. I mean, I was mentioning I was flying over to Hawaii and watching the Arkansas St. John's game at 36,000 feet.
Yeah, booked a hotel from up there, or booked you
a flight from up there. So apparently did that wrong too.
That's okay. It was just that was something that I'm glad it happened, because it was funny radio content last week. But at the time, I was scared. I was scared that I was in Dallas, Texas, and I wasn't going to be able to get on a flight till the next day, which in hindsight would have been still a day before the game itself. Yeah. But it was just entertaining at the time.
So, hey, the Fence Man will be in here Friday morning. We'll make our Fence Man Friday picks. I'm sure we'll take a look at the weekend's games and the Final Four. That'll be part of it. And the Fence Man's standing by right now. Get on the schedule for your free consultation, your free estimate. They can give you design ideas. Hey, I need a fence, but I don't want it to look just cookie cutter, standard fence. What can you do? They love those kind of projects. So if you want something maybe with some upgraded trim or a different look, or that will stain out a certain way, maybe I've seen some of these fences now where they're running the pickets in different directions and having them cut kind of in a unique design where it kind of lays out and has a pattern. They do all kinds of really cool stuff. So call the Fence Man, 782-3936. They'll be on their way, give you some custom ideas if that's what you're looking for, give you a quote, and they will put in quality fencing. If you're looking for the cheapest, they're probably not it. If you're looking for the best at a great value and to get the most for your money, I can promise you the Fence Man's the one I call. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
All right, Ryan's in Hot Springs here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ryan, you are on the Morning Rush. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys, I got a What's Your Beef in honor of the late, great Val Kilmer, him passing last night. A lot of people talk about this, because whenever Tombstone and Wyatt Earp came out at the same time, Dennis Quaid got the supporting role award that year, and it's not just me. A lot of people feel like that should have went to the late great Val Kilmer, and that's in honor of him. That's going to be what's my beef that he didn't get that award, and Dennis Quaid did.
I have not seen Wyatt Earp. Have you?
Yeah, it's been a while. How old's that movie, Ryan?
They both came out in '93.
I'll say
Tombstone's fantastic.
20. I didn't realize it's 30 plus.
Tombstone's fantastic.
Yes,
it is, Ryan.
Yes,
I do find it like whether it's supporting roles or your favorite actor when he doesn't win, people get mad, and obviously that's a beef of yours 20 plus years later that he should have won that night.
What the crazy part is that movie's never even talked about. Tombstone is pretty much talked about almost daily somewhere. Look at Oklahoma State. You got on their thing pregame. You got Wyatt Earp on the with Kurt Russell sitting there saying "Hell's coming with me." So,
Yep.
that movie is iconic, and Wyatt Earp is not even mentioned.
Those would be two good ones to watch while it's ready. Can't get out and do anything next few days. That'd be
yes, sir.
Those would be two good ones to put on Netflix or whatever and watch while the rain's coming down.
You got to think, Ryan, appreciate the call. You got to think of stuff that you can do inside these next couple of days with your family, by yourself, because here in Arkansas, for the majority of our state, there's not going to be many outdoor activities that you can enjoy here these next few days.
Probably going to wipe out some of the fishing up at Gaston's White River Resort. And I can tell you, when rains are coming down, and if it's safe to be on the river, depending on how much rain you're getting at that time, sometimes a great time to be out there, less pressure, and as long as you can keep that bilge pump running and keep that water from the inside of the boat, you can be in pretty good shape to catch your big trophy brown or rainbow. But seriously, make your plans. And, if I was going to get rained out and just kind of, there's nothing better than laying in one of those cabins at Gaston's, hear that rain kind of pouring down on the roof, and you just sawing logs, Then you can get up and go down to the restaurant, have your big steak, or start your meal off with one of them salads from the John Boat Salad Bar. It's an awesome time. So, hey, it'd be a good time to be there, but plan for a better day of weather. Get a guided fishing trip with Sean or Mike or any of their great guides up there. 870-431-5202 is the number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time. You know it every time.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Arkansas believed in me back in high school when nobody did.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at
Thanks
Dozy
for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, Sakale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. Even if your bracket is busted, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with a free Sweet 16 bracket and live betting on every remaining tournament game. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and MMA, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, the saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. Even if your bracket is busted, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with a free Sweet 16 bracket and live betting on every remaining tournament game. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and MMA, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every
Basketball and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, back here for one final segment on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. By the way, it's also Peanut Butter Jelly Day.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Tommy mentioned that earlier. I honestly can't remember the last time Colt and I have had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I'm a big peanut butter and jelly sandwich guy. I'm not making it myself. I'm definitely going for one of those Uncrustables because those are just the greatest things in the world. You freeze them, you get them any time of day. Perfect meal.
Yeah, that like we went to the grocery store last week on vacation, and that was one thing Dylan picked up was a box of Uncrustables.
What did that look like on vacation? How much did you spend in Hawaii?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Oh, you just swiped the card and didn't even look.
Yeah.
The big question, guys, is it? Do you prefer grape or strawberry jelly?
Strawberry.
Wrong.
Crunchy and crunchy
You're both
peanut
wrong.
butter.
Crunchy peanut butter, I'm with you, but it's grape jelly.
No, creamy,
crunchy,
and strawberry. I like things creamy.
I can go. I mean, either one on the jelly. Strawberry's my preference. Though.
Is it?
So, talk about some fishing earlier. Hey, it's time to get out and do some of that crappie fishing right now. I was talking to someone yesterday who was getting their live scope and everything set up. I told him, hey, you can set all that up, but you need that Bobby Garland baby shad from Pradco to really go out and catch those slabs. There's only one baby shad, and the original Bobby Garland baby shad is perfect for crappie fishing. It's the number one selling bait, featuring a sleek back, the streamlined belly, the quivering tail. This is a bait that won't stop moving, and no matter the temps, no matter the conditions, it's built for dead sticking and action-based techniques. Find the Bobby Garland Baby Shad at your favorite tackle shops everywhere, Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, and Academy too, and start filling up the freezer when you take the Bobby Garland Baby Crappie Baits along, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
All right, as we wrap up What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Two other beefs I have. QR codes instead of menus at restaurants.
Yes.
That is ruining society.
You want to feel the menu in your hand.
I want to feel it in my hands. I
refuse.
I
make them bring me a menu.
Yeah,
COVID. So that's one of the things that's lingered from COVID that needs to go away.
Yes, and people, now you do this, and I don't know. I have to have a concrete planner. Yours goes in like your Google Calendar or your whatever calendar.
Phone calendar.
Yeah, I don't like that. Other thing.
But your calendar won't give you an alert. It won't tell you the meeting you're about to miss.
But I just look at it. I have it with me.
Yeah, but if you
24/7.
forget or you don't see it or. It doesn't send you some remind
here. Okay, you've worked with me for now nearly 7 years. How many times have I forgotten something? I don't have many strengths. I don't have many. I don't have many strengths, but that is one of them. I am very poignant when it comes to that. Other thing.
I don't think poignant's the right word.
What's the word I'm
there.
looking for?
Punctual.
Punctual.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure
yeah.
You took English class?
No, I skipped it.
Yeah.
I was too busy staring at the
believe that.
professor. I had a really
Should've
attractive.
put that in your planner.
I had a really attractive compliment
English
professor.
101.
Oh yeah, my roommate clogged the toilet, so I'm gonna have to pay for a plumber to fix it. That's another beef.
Plunger. Use a plunger.
Well, no, it's like it's the water's jacked up, so I'm gonna have to pay a plunger because I can't fix the toilet. So
You tried a plunger?
Yeah, and it didn't do anything. So that's the other.
A man's man.
That's the other beef.
Hey,
I'm
mowing the lawn, plumbing the toilet.
Hey,
a man's man.
I mowed the lawn
and eating steak with strawberry.
I mowed the lawn. That's my partial man card that I signed yesterday.
What's Your Beef Wednesdays brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Everything from hand-cut steaks to the shrimp for the boil or the barbecue. Either way, you can get them picked up curbside with a call 479-443-0000 or stop by 1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive in Fayetteville at Richard's Country Meat Market.
Halftime coming up next.
Soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Young Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky Rigging, the 5-inch model, can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.